we hang out and go from there.
Zarian, you've had some rotation at some spots, but it seems like now you guys have maybe solidified a five group. Just kind of what's it been like just trying to get everybody on the same page for these first couple games?
Yeah, we just all just trying to play as one and just work as one, and we just trying to find the best five that can fit together right and just come out dominate every game.
Sorry, I haven't really heard you tell this story, but last year when you realized you were going to get another year to play college football, take us through your decision-making process. I guess first one that you were going to play again, and then how you wound up here.
Yeah, that was truly a blessing. Because like I was supposed to be, that's supposed to be my last year. So when the opportunity came, I knew I had a chance to play at a higher level somewhere else, someplace better. So I just made that decision for myself, and here I am now.
Brian, go ahead. Can you tell us about your story a little bit? The college journey. This is your fourth school, and just tell us how you went from junior college to Monroe to Tech.
Yeah. So I went to Jones College in Mississippi. I played 2 years there, and then from there I went transferred to Louisiana Monroe. I was there from 2022 to 23, and then this past year I was at La Tech, and now I'm here.
So what's that journey been like for you?
It's been a roller coaster, but all at the end, I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed to be coached by Coach Gunn and all the wonderful coaching staff, and I'm just very blessed to be in this position.
So one last question for you. When you go to Jones, obviously you're going there trying to hope to get an FBS offer at that point. So has it worked out the way you wanted to? Or
Yeah. It's, like I said, it's been a long journey, but like I said, my dream always been to play D1 football at the highest level. So here I am playing now, so I can't be more blessed.
Jake, go ahead.
Zarian, what's it like playing with Zai on one side and Xavier on the other?
Man, those are my guys, man. We all from Mississippi, so we already got that connection. And Zai and the X just make my job easier because, they go out there and do what they're supposed to do, so it just make it easy for me.
Couple more time to go ahead.
Zarian, just what was it like watching this program from afar over the last couple of years? I'm not sure how much they're on your radar. I mean, this is going back to TCU this week where it all started for Coach Prime here. Just kind of what was that like seeing this program and what it was doing the last couple of years before you got here?
Yeah, this program, man, Coach Prime, he's a wonderful coach. So soon Coach Gunner called me, I knew this was the place for me. I couldn't pass up this opportunity. So I'm just very blessed to be here. So.
Zarian, in college football nowadays, like starting four transfers on the offensive line doesn't typically work, but it has worked for this group. Why do you think, this group has gelled together and worked together so well so far?
Coach Gunn, Coach George, Coach Dre, they brought in the right guys, to fit the system. So we just all starting to click and combine and just work together as one.
Yeah, can you just describe the communication aspect between you guys and the quarterback and how that's been kind of fluctuating this season?
Yeah, we just quarterback, we just all make sure we're on the same page, protection wise, call wise, so that we can execute our assignment to the best of our ability.
Last one, Brian. So 2 questions for the competition in fall camp. What was that like for you having to compete for that job?
Everything is a competition, so just keep working, keep my head down, and just go to work.
I want to ask you have so much experience in center, but have you learned even more about the position being here working with these coaches?
Yes, sir. Especially from Coach Brady, because Coach Drake played here, he's the center, so he taught me a lot. Coach Gunn taught me a lot. Coach George, Coach Greg. I'm learning from everybody, so I'm just steady trying to get better every day.
You got one more, Coach.
I just want to know what kind of snacks do you like eating? Snacks.
My favorite snacks, I like Reese's. Any type of chips, but Reese's is my favorite.
Favorite spot in Boulder?
Favorite spot in Boulder?
Yeah.
I ain't really been out too much, so I usually just hang out with my teammates, so I ain't been out too much.
Chef Carl.
All right.
We're good.
Hey, no question, just a comment. Can you say we're all from Mississippi again?
We all from Mississippi. Thank y'all.
Another one.
You want him to say it too?
It'll come out.
Howdy.
Go ahead.
Thanks, Xavier. You guys had a lot of success with that counterplay, and then specifically the zone to you and Jordan Seaton's side. What has made those two plays so successful for you guys this year?
Just practicing them every day at a high level. Having adjustments to different fronts and things like that. Just pounding it over and over again in practice is makes it second nature in the game. So.
Right.
Xavier, it felt like the other night, third drive, things started to kind of deteriorate. What did you see from your perspective offensively? Why did things kind of slow down?
I didn't really, at the moment, you really don't see it during the moment, but, looking back at the game, we maybe, I wouldn't say we started to get a little bit complacent, but, we just need to find ways to keep the pressure on our opponents whenever we do go up early or score early. We just need to find ways to continue to push through and make sure that every drive ends with points.
Right. The other day, Coach Prime, he said the offensive line goes, that's not a problem. Obviously, that's very different from what we've heard the last 2 years. How much does that mean to you and your group to know that you guys are excelling and doing a good job here on that offensive line?
I mean, it makes me feel good, but I mean, that's what they brought us in here to do. I mean, honestly, that's what that's why we're here. So I mean, we're just doing our job.
Do you feel like you guys can get even better?
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like we're just scratching the surface. We got a lot more to go. We got a lot. We got a lot of things we want to accomplish in the run game. We want to put up some bigger run yardage games, some more efficient games. So just with the ceiling we have, I feel like we can do a lot better.
Xavier, we saw some of the Wildcat stuff with Draylon last week. Obviously, he ends that second drive with a couple runs to get into the end zone. Just how much does that help you guys? Just maybe have an extra body in there. Just kind of what does Draylon bring to that as well? Just kind of what was making that so successful in that game the other day?
Yeah, all our backs are dynamic. So with certain guys out, just having a spark like that come from the receiver room and really go out there and showcase his ability. That's I feel like that's elite.
Okay, go ahead.
Also, just Micah. I mean, he played pretty well last week too. Just what do you guys see when Micah's in the game? What does he bring to the table when he's in?
Micah knows how to get to those holes that we create, and he knows how to, take runs for as many yards as he possibly can. He doesn't. He's not a soft runner, so whenever he does break out the second level, we can expect him to pick up as many as he can. So.
Anything else for Zach? Go ahead. I was just wondering about the leadership, right? I mean, you're an older guy coming into this program. How have you seen the leadership develop this season? It seems like it's kind of been a struggle, but maybe it's starting to pick up now.
The leadership on the team can definitely use some work. We've been, just focusing on our room. It's a bunch of older guys. It's a bunch of guys who have already done it. So we kind of lead by example. We make sure to do as much as we can to prepare for the game. Practice. We might go through adversity every day in practice. At some point, we're during the game. We just try to keep our heads, right here instead of getting too high, getting too low during the game. We just try to focus on our job each and every play.
Last one, Neely, go.
Just where you from?
Sip.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bless you all.
Coach, you ready? Holy good.
Yes.
Shut this sprayed all over your hair.
That's good.
Well, hey guys.
What's up, Coach?
Coach?
I do want to go 3 for 3. Hey, Coach, I want to ask you about Coach Grant and what his ability's been like with you and having that flexibility. Because he's doing a lot of stuff during warm-up. So just how is that helpful to you?
Just gives us an extra person that knows and understands what we're trying to get done and get accomplished. Not only on the field, but off the field too. He's very good with statistics, analytics, helping us with the run game, pass protection, the whole nine. It's very vital to what we do.
Hey, Coach, you've seen Yo-Yo kind of get used quite a bit recently in kind of like a 6 kind of offensive line. How has he kind of been able to make an impact and develop into, a contributor for you guys up front?
Well, he's too good not to put him on the field.
Yeah.
He's been busting his tail at guard, at center, tight end, the whole nine. And you got to reward kids that do well and do everything that they ask. And two are one of the best guys in the unit. So if we could keep 6 out there, I would love to.
Yeah.
But I mean that's not the way that it works. But he's doing a fantastic job, and I'm super proud of him.
Appreciate you.
Coach, got 2 for you. First of all, we mentioned earlier the growth and the play level of this offensive line this season. What have you seen from their character as a unit?
As far as on field, off field,
Just like the personalities in this room, what have they brought to the table as compared to last season?
well, it just gels better, and that was part of the recruiting process with me and Dre and George and Grant. We made sure that guys were going to click and gel together with, different geographical areas and personalities and whatnot. And you can't have a room full of hotheads and
a room full of soft-spoken people. Like it doesn't work. So you got a good mix of, the social guys and non-social guys, and everybody does their part in their job, and it clicks very well.
Yeah, second one, Ralphie Seven had a couple games now under her belt. What do you think of her? What have you seen, like, as a coach? What have you seen the player response be and the fan response be to it?
Ralphie Seven's fantastic. I got broke in with Ralphie Six last year, and I don't know how long she was there before, but man, it's night and day. I love this one. Maybe it's because she's from Colorado.
Yeah, it's probably good. Coach, you've been here the last couple of years, and I've seen the struggles with the offensive line.
Mhm.
When you hear Coach Prime yesterday say, offensive line is not a problem, 5 games into the season, is there a sense of pride for you in that you guys are doing what you thought and hoped you would do?
Yeah, absolutely. But that's also why he hired me. That's why he hired Drake. That's why he hired George. Because he knew what we wanted, what we brought to the table, and we try to hit things in different manners and different ways than other people have. And nothing against them, but I've been around so many different offensive line coaches that I can pick the good things that I like and not do some of the things I didn't, and not mesh them all together, and it comes into this.
So, as a follow-up to that, I mean, how much of it is what you guys are teaching, and also maybe better talent as well if you guys brought in?
Oh, it's both. It's always both. But that goes back to the gelling in the room too, with the different characteristics of the guys and demeanors. Like you can't have a bunch of hotheads and a bunch of convicts. Like you got to have a good blend and a good mix. And that's why when we go through the recruiting process, we answer those questions. You got to make sure that they check the boxes and not have too much of those, not too much of that.
Go ahead.
Coach, when this formula first started of having 3 O-line coaches in the room, no doubt Coach Prime has made you the tip of the spear, but there was a lot of chatter out there that how's this going to work, who's in charge?
Mm-hmm.
And now you look at the results, each week you're in the top 10 as offensive line play. Was there some personal or professional satisfaction in like I told you so that we can pull this off?
Not really, because I don't get down like that. But I do take pride in it, and it was important to me whenever I finally did get this opportunity to take it and run and not look back. Just like with guys that get on the field, like they finally get their opportunity, you take it, you keep it. Like that's the way you got to handle it and have that mentality about it. And we try to instill that into the guys. And once they see us do that on the same page and keep egos out of it, the proof's in the pudding.
And follow up that, where are you from?
Mississippi.
No further question.
Coach, just curious what you're obviously going back to TCU this week for the first time since 2023. Just kind of what you remember from that season opening win a couple years ago and how it kind of changed everything. I'm sure you guys always believed you're going to win that game, but inside the program, but what it did afterwards as well.
Well, it put everybody on notice that we were here and we were here for a reason, and we weren't just here for clicks and show and all that. Like we're about our business, and I'm glad we're going back there, get another opportunity and playing down there. And most of our staff and most of our players are from the South too, so it's like a homecoming, and then we love playing at sea level because the celebration it's a huge advantage for us.
Jake, go ahead.
Coach, just a lot of talk about leadership from Coach Prime this year. Just what have you seen from your group and Georgia in particular, trying to lead this team, lead the group at least too?
Well, it's by example. It's by play on the field. You can't beat the talk. You have to do the action too. Like there's time for jumping in and voicing an opinion, but if you go to work and do what you're supposed to do, everybody else falls in suit too. But at the same time, you can't have bad habits and good play. Like you have to have both. And I think they've done a pretty good job of exempling that.
All right. I want to ask you a 2-part question about the guys behind the main guys we're seeing. You got some older veterans that are part of the depth. You guys are maybe in their last year, they're not playing a whole lot. How are those guys coming along and handling maybe not getting the playing time they want?
They're being great teammates. And then 2, like during practice with Cooper and Mackey, we're training these guys. Even Andre Roy, like he's even had playing time. We're training these guys like they're playing. And I don't think you can handle it any other way because it's football. Like you're always one play away from something, and you always have to have an answer, and you always have to have something up your sleeve for it. And they're doing a great job.
Sorry, second part of that is just the young guys. How are they coming along? Chauncey and Cardi, guys like that.
Good. You know, Chauncey, he's getting a lot more reps now. Carday, we had a private talk with him, but he stepped his stuff up even today. Like we got done with our first team period and got to group teaching. Coach Prime came to the offense line and specifically gave him nuts. You know, because that's just saying that he's taking accountability for his actions and doing what he needs to do, and he's becoming more than just a freshman. It's that part of the year. 6 games in, we're going into the 6th game. You start to see guys start to turn.
The other night, you guys kind of got away from the run game, the game a little bit, but when you were running the football to the backs, you guys were really effective. Is there something you can build on? Feels like that may have been a big step forward for you.
Absolutely. And then from our first interviews, whenever I got hired, like that was one thing that we wanted to be strong in is the run game. I mean, it's offensive line. You got to take pride in running the football. And, you know, it wouldn't hurt my feelings if we ran it every play. But, you know, you can't always do that, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, I think we're doing a heck of a job. And as you see throughout the games, like BYU's the first one where we really put it all together as a 5, as a group. So we feel about that.
The other thing I was going to ask about is right tackle. You just mentioned you had Andre in there after having Larry, and now you're back to Larry.
Mm-hmm.
What didn't you see at first, and why did you go back to Larry?
Well, sometimes you just got to like fires under guys. Sure. You know, because you can be, you know, the strongest dude in the world, or be able to keep guys out on the edge and whatnot. But if you just kind of halfway going through motions or anything, like you have to have a reality check because we're not going to actually look at it. Especially if they want to go to the next level. Like we can't set them up for them because that would be bad on us. And that's just our way of doing it. And also rewarding Roy for kicking tail in practice, you know, and doing what he needs to do. Because at the end of the day, the best 5 are going to get on the field.
Have you seen what you needed to see from Larry since you got back in that?
Yeah. But every week's different.
Okay.
Every week's different. You know, you wake up one day and, you know, your head might hurt, your stomach might hurt, or whatever. And you got to push through. And if you don't, guess what? Somebody else is there to take your job.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
I appreciate you, Coach.
See ya.
Morning run. It's the morning run. It's the morning run. Uncle Neely, Big Dog, Chico, Dukes the Scoop, live and in effect. Uncle Neely's boots on the ground right there in Boulder, Colorado. Dukes in Atlanta. And of course, I'm out here in the middle of the ocean, 7 a.m. Hawaii time, checking in, holding things down from the far west coast. Shout out to the big O-line, Big Zarian McGill, Xavier Hill, and Coach Gunnar White. All 3 native Mississippians. And hey, Dukes, got a lot of guys from the South on this Colorado football team. Before we go into our guest for today, any thoughts on hearing those big old linemen speak along with the coach? Also, make sure you hit that unmute button for your dog. Yo.
Yep, can you hear me?
Yep.
Man, you know how it is, like you at your grandma's house for the summer and all your cousins there and everybody trouble, but you know you ain't did nothing.
Yeah.
So the offensive lines, that's how they sound like, hey, everybody in trouble. But hey, we did our part. Hey, my bed got made up. Like, hey,
right.
Y'all. You know, that's kind of how it felt like. And not to say they did that on purpose, but that's just kind of how it is right now. You know, everybody has something to say about every particular group on the defense. You can, there's something to be desired from pretty much every position group on the team. Outside of the specialists, I think the offensive line have accounted for themselves well. And even Coach Prime yesterday in the press conference saying that it's like, you know, teacher get mad, walk in the classroom. Everybody who talking, you know, you can't, you know what I mean? Y'all don't get no recess.
Right.
Offensive line sitting back like, shoot, I'm going to play.
I'm good.
Hey, I'm straight. Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
Shout out to your Mississippi brethren, Uncle Neely, all three of those guys.
Man, we about about 8-9 deep on the total team. You know.
Yeah, y'all deep. If Fat Joe was explaining, he'd be like, "Hey, we got 100 Mississippians on the team, son. 100."
No, Fat Joe gonna always put something on there. Shout out to Fat Joe.
Boy, that's funny.
Yeah. Shout out to we got a special guest joining us right here. Unc, you do the honors, Unc.
Let me tell you something, man, about my brother that's going to be with us today. Because like I told you, we're going to get back to Colorado football, but most people don't know shit about boxing at all. But I happen to remember, man, I said, man, I got a damn good friend that know a lot about boxing. My man, AC Clark. Now, AC, well, I popped in my head because we're going to Dallas this week to play TCU. Then I look up, AC in a helicopter flying over ATL. Look, you never know where AC gonna be. You gonna see him ringside at all the big events, representing his clients. Protect yourself at all times is his brand. He manages boxers, teaches them the business of the game. The Morning Run proudly welcomes boxing promoter manager AC Clark. Brother AC, what's going on, man?
Man, Uncle, how are you, man? Thank you for that warm introduction, bro. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you can hear us, but we can't hear you.
I can hear you. I can hear you. I appreciate you joining us, AC.
Okay, and I appreciate y'all. And I can hear y'all just fine. I don't know if y'all can hear me on my end though.
Okay, great. I can hear you. Unc, you the only one can't hear him? It might just be
You
Unc.
can hear him, Chico?
Yep, I can hear him. Dukes, you got him?
I got him.
All right, I think Unc will have to probably just check back in and he'll get it straight.
So, hey, look, so we done gave Mississippi all the love. We done gave the South all the love. We got to talk about somebody from the A-Town that I feel like is next. A lot of people feel like he's next. That's Brian Norman Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about Brian Norman, who he is, and what you feel like he can be.
He's currently behind me, putting in work. He's sparring right now at the gym, man. So I met B 3 years ago. Young kid, soft-spoken, met him and his dad, man. But as Javante Davis once said on his social media and to Brian, man, ATL don't even know what they got in front of them with Brian Norman Jr. Amazing fighter. It's more than just the power, and I think people just lean on because he's knocking guys out left and right. I think that's just the icing on the cake, man. The internal side of B is he's a masterful boxer inside the ring, strategizes, man. But ATL has something special in this kid sparring behind me right now, getting ready for his November 22nd bout against Devin Haney in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. But I'm very proud to represent him, but I'm very proud of him and as he's grown as a man in just 3 years.
Man, and like you said, Atlanta doesn't know what they have, but he's starting to make the rounds, and you're seeing him pop up. So now people are catching on to him, and you'll be surprised because the last time we had somebody like this at this level was probably Evander Holyfield. Has it been has it been that heavy? I mean, now I don't want to skip over God bless Vernon Forrest, but
Vernon Forrest, right.
I don't want to skip over that and bless him. But is it a big responsibility that you see around him for carrying the mantle of being the guy from Atlanta right now?
Oh yeah, I mean, but he understands that, you know what I'm saying? Especially for boxing, it's not just him in that ring. He's fighting for all the guys out of the Georgia, Mississippi area. And I think, Deontay Wilder, tip my hat to him. They did a good job, meaning Deontay and Brian, of showing that, guys from Mississippi, Louisiana, like Georgia, no, we can fight. We're not just guys that are gonna come in just being opponents and lay down. We're coming in to be on champions and be moneymakers in this sport. So I feel like, Deontay moved the needle for Alabama. Excuse me. He moved the needle for Alabama. Yeah, I called myself. He moved the needle for Alabama, but Brian is definitely moving the needle for Georgia.
Most definitely. Chico,
Uncle over there struggling, man.
Man, what?
I thought Uncle was in now. My bad.
Yeah. So while we're here, man, can you tell us how you got started in the business?
I actually fought in the amateurs, man. My junior year of college, I was mentoring these kids in Corpus Christi, and it was at this boxing gym. And I grew up basketball, football in Dallas, Texas. We didn't really know much about boxing. I got down to Corpus, man, and these kids was like, "Yo, like you got to fight in the gloves. You got to fight in the gloves." And I'm like, "What's that?" And they're like, "The Golden Glove tournament." And I'm like, "All right, I can fight." You know what I'm saying? So I'm game. So I get in, man. My first time sparring was against this 15-year-old kid, and I'm like, "Bro, I'm 21. I'm gonna hurt this kid. Y'all learned that day, man. Boxing is totally different from fighting.
Hey,
I got my ass handed to me that day, man. But
hey,
that was my start, and I think it was 2008, I believe. And I've been in it ever since. Just I wasn't good enough to turn pro. My last fight in the amateurs, the semifinals of the Golden Glove tournament, I thought I was gonna go pro, but I met Timothy Tipton's right hand, bro. I didn't see his right hand
ooh,
coming, man, and
jeez.
I don't remember getting hit. I don't remember clinching. I don't remember hitting the ropes. I just remember the ref saying like, "Yo, walk to me." I tried to take a step and I stumbled, and they called a fight, and I'm like, you know what? I think the business side of the sport is probably going to
That's right.
be best for me, and that's where I've been for the past 16 years, man. But I got my start early. I was 23 when I started. I'm 39 now, so I'm considered the old guy on the representation side. But it's been good to me.
Oh wow.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say your start sounded like my introduction to the boxing world. You know, I got hit in the mouth a couple times. I didn't see the punches coming, and from that point, I said, take the gloves, give me my football helmet. I'm going
Yeah.
back outside." Totally different ball game up here, dog.
It's totally different, man. But I got respect for the guys inside the ring and anyone that decides to get in there, whether you're amateur or pro, whether you got a winning record or a losing record. Just mad respect to anybody that decides to get in there because it's a different world once you're in there, man.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask you for somebody who's played other sports, football, basketball, and you know a lot of times they say, hey man, you know when you've got a young kid, and this is even for me as well, put them in boxing. There's so much you can learn from boxing. Give them a little boxing, and then let them go to football or let them go to basketball or baseball, or whatever. What is it about boxing that's transferable to other sports that makes people feel like that?
And there's so many different answers for that question, but the one thing I would say is like the discipline and self control to be able to get like punched in the face and then not get angry and automatically react to just know
Mm,
why you got hit and then make the adjustment. That helps with everything in life. Just being able to have that self control, but then that discipline to know that you got hands or you can fight, but then you go out into the world and just because someone says something or does something doesn't mean that you automatically put your hands on display. That discipline, again, translates to everything. So, I mean, there's so many different answers you can give for that. But for me, the discipline and self control that comes with boxing, that's what translates to me any other sport, especially football.
okay.
Yes, like you said, you translated and you went to that business side. Can you talk about some of the businesses that you have created and founded, and how it helps the young guys get into
So,
boxing?
so with boxing, it's not like the NFL, the NBA. You know, these guys are independent contractors. They're entrepreneurs. They're not employed by any type of league or whatever. So
Mm,
with that, there's no union. There's no
Hmm.
council to help protect the fighters. So you can imagine how guys get taken advantage of financially and contractually. So I created a company called Protect Yourself at All Times. The one consistent thing fighters have been hearing for years, since the amateurs, you always hear protect yourself at all times, but
mm-hmm.
that goes for outside of the ring also. Like just as you protect yourself inside the ring, you have to protect yourself outside the ring financially, contractually, and that's what my company does. It's an educational platform that helps fighters understand what you're signing in regards to contract, planning for retirement, paying taxes. That's probably the biggest thing. Paying taxes, knowing what it's like to sign with a promoter. We just try to break down for the amateur fighters and their families what to look forward to in regards to boxing business, and just try to better prepare them for the future, because as of right now and how it's always been, there's nothing to help these fighters with the transition of going pro. You know, even when you guys college athletes, you can at least get an understanding of what the pros is going to be like. You have former pros come talk to you. In boxing, man, I think we're last in line with preparing our guys, our amateur fighters, for the professional ranks. But protect yourself at all times. Just put a dent in that, and I'm just hoping to keep the ball rolling and keep it growing so that more fighters and more families are educated and prepared on professional boxing.
I gotta ask. Are you able to speak on other boxers that aren't in your stable?
Yeah, yeah.
So we got to ask you the question here. Floyd Mayweather in his prime, I don't care about the weight, versus Terrence Crawford in his prime. I don't care about the weight. You pick the catch weight, whatever it is.
Okay.
How do you feel like that fight goes?
It's
Mm,
hard to bet against Floyd, man. I got
Hmm.
mad respect for Terrence, as a person, as a fighter. But bruh, from Pretty Boy Floyd, who was super aggressive offensively,
Hmm.
to Money Mayweather, who was super aggressive defensively, he's super complete. And not saying that Terrence is not. It's just Both of them in their prime. I'll put my money on Floyd. I don't think it's wise to bet against a Floyd Mayweather. So I would have to go with Floyd for a decision win against Terrence Crawford for sure.
Okay, decision win though for sure.
Yeah, decision win. I wouldn't bet on Floyd knocking too many people out, and there's no diss to him, but
Right.
he'll definitely pick you apart over 12 rounds. But I would not say he's knocking out Bud. No way.
Right,
No way.
right.
That'll be a hell of a fight right there. That's what I'll be looking forward to right there. I'm paying for that one for sure. I'm trying
Oh
to
yeah,
go,
no,
Duke.
for sure. For
Man,
sure.
man,
Definitely
man,
that.
yeah, we going. Look, it's some whispers. You know, hey, you know, some whispers going on right now. You know, with and this is another question I have for you. The exhibition part of the boxing game right now, where you see guys at different weights, and it's more the entertainment portion of it. Is that something that boxing purists are like, hey, we can't stand that, we hate it? Or is it more so where it's like, hey man, get your money?
Mm-hmm.
I'll say get your money, but like they're saying Mike Tyson and Floyd are gonna fight.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's an exhibition, so they're not actually gonna fight. It's damn near scripted more than anything. So, but I'm not knocking it. Get your money, but I think it's more so people that are more like casual fans. They just want to see the entertainment factor of it, and
Right.
that's something cool to see. Floyd Mayweather and Tyson in the same ring against each other. It's
Mm-hmm.
cool, but yeah, no,
Not
I'm gonna watch
expecting
it.
like you're not expecting like real deal boxing going on and real competition out there.
No, not at all. Not at all. And that's respect to them, but I don't think it's hurting the sport. I think it's, of course, putting more eyes on the sport, but at the same time, Mike Tyson in Florida are not going to get in the ring and actually go at it the way that we would expect them to.
Mm-hmm.
It's the entertainment factor. But for that, man, get your money.
What about this one?
Ah.
Marlon Davis.
Even with that, I would, because I feel like Tank is pretty much done with boxing. He said that in interviews before. So, understanding that you look to get out with as much money as you can and with as much exposure as you can. And him rematching Lamont Roach, that wasn't going to make him the most money and get him the most reach and exposure. But fight against Jake Paul, even if it is an exhibition, that gets him the most money and he can ride away in the sunset with however much money he's gonna make. I would selfishly, if I was representing Lamont, I would get on here speaking a different tune about what I would want Javante to do. But go out the way you want to go out, and that's exactly what he's doing.
What are so when we see athletes like in football, basketball, they're usually different. They're usually like avenues that you see them go. You know, okay, you're gonna go broadcaster. Are you gonna trainer? Is it the same exact thing in boxing where are there as many opportunities? It doesn't seem like you could make as many opportunities as a boxer as you can as a football player or a basketball player. What do you do to try to circumvent that to say, okay, you know what, you sign with me, I know it goes further than this. This is what we do, and why should people be under like when they think about who I want to manage me? Why AC?
Great question, and that's my thing, man. Understanding that this is just a vehicle, man. Boxing is just a vehicle to take you somewhere else. And when I talk about retirement, you should see my guys' faces. Like, what do you mean retirement? I'm 20 something years old, not realizing, bro. Let's say you have the perfect career and you retire at 34 or 35 years old. You know how young that is? You have a lot more years to figure out your life. So we don't plan for a retirement once we get to 20 and old. We plan for retirement at 0 and 0. Once you're making that jump to the pros, we're planning for retirement because one punch can change anything in the sport. I bet guys had to retire. They undefeated 10 and 0, man, with promising careers, but have to retire from the sport because they have detached retinas. So I always tell my guys, bro, like your passion. You got to follow your passion. Boxing is one passion, but what are your other passions? And let's explore those. And whether it's a company you're trying to start or a company that you want to be with. I think I don't know if you guys seen the article with I think Ishay Smith. He works for the post office now. Very good career, very good benefits, very good payment, man. Like that's a
Yeah.
good career for a fighter after he's done with the sport because it's consistent income and it's consistent benefits for you and your family. But just trying to let guys know that this is just a vehicle to take you somewhere else for the next part of your career. You'll always be remembered as a boxer, but you can't box for forever. And then we don't have the opportunities to be commentators or to be a part of big broadcast teams because it's a poor man's sport. It's a very niche market that isn't as heavy of a reach as NFL or NBA is. So just try to prepare my guys as best as possible. But it's more so a brotherhood, man. You know, I have a friendship, I have a brotherhood with Brian Norman Jr. and Senior and the rest of my other guys. So it's not just you hear from me during contract time or during when it's negotiations. Man, I'm here in Atlanta right now. I live in Dallas. I'm here in
Yeah.
Atlanta, like with my guy, man. He just done
Yeah.
sparring. So, and I got another guy to meet with. So, that's the perk.
Hey, I definitely know. I see where you at for sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I know where you at. Yeah, for sure.
And it ain't no air conditioning in this joint too, so you know it's
boy,
hot.
and there's some good entertainment not far away. You hear me?
Right, exactly.
It looked like it's hot out there, boy.
I know exactly.
Let me ask
where
this
you at.
question. I have a question. Based off your experience, what athletes or from what sport make the best boxers? Like, do former basketball players, football players?
Bro, you know basketball players can't fight.
Oh,
No, I'm
hey.
sorry. I gotta put it out there. I gotta put it out there, bro. You know basketball players. You know basketball
Really?
players can't fight. No, it's football players. The football players, and maybe a guy that did rugby before, or like with Terrence. Terrence is big in wrestling, so a good wrestler that if you can teach him how to throw his hands, that helps. But I would either go football player or wrestler. Basketball player, it's like you talk about his reach, he's tall. Bro, have you ever been punched in the face before? And if you haven't, nah, we don't need you in this gym.
Yeah. Damn.
Shout out to all the basketball players out there, by the way.
Right.
Weren't you a former basketball player?
That's why I'm 20-20.
Yo, I can't hear OG. I can't hear him talking.
Hey, I don't know what it is about me and his connection. I can hear him now finally, but outside I can hear y'all, but couldn't hear him.
Okay.
Y'all gonna have to translate what he said. I can see him, but I can't hear him.
No, I asked wasn't he a former basketball player? He said, yeah, for sure. He was 20-20 in his fights also.
Yeah, right.
That's his fight record, 20-20. If you had a fighter that was 20-20, what do you do with him? Do you
I'm helping him get it. I'm helping him get a job. I'm helping him get a job. It's like helping him get a job. we gonna focus on the career. That's what we do it.
Man, AC. November 22nd is the big day.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Norman is the champ.
Yep.
Versus Devin Haney. He's the guy who got a lot of the recognition, but people are starting to the power of Brian Norman is starting to make waves. A lot of people, and even for the casual boxing fan, you know about the power. How do you see this fight going?
You hear it in the background.
I think Devin is no slouch, so it's like you can't just take away from him because Brian is such a big puncher. But I do believe that Brian will dominate this fight. I think Devin's gonna come out. He's a world-class fighter, so he's not gonna lay down for Brian Norman Jr. But it's one thing once you get touched and you feel his power. I think that's been the surprise of a lot of guys, dating all the way back to Giovanni Santillan. You look at him and you think he's young, he light skinned, so it's like, I'm gonna be able to. But once you get in and you feel that power, man, that changes everything. But his IQ is really going to be the difference maker in the fight. I think Devin is probably looking down at his experience and then underestimating his IQ as far as boxing goes. So I think Brian dominates this fight. And if he doesn't stop him, then the ref will stop it. One of the two.
How did Brian take it when Devin Haney says he's another stepping stone?
Like anybody else would, as it's what he's supposed to say. But if you read between the lines and kind of see just different interviews, he definitely has respect for Brian, but he has to give that bravado of like, okay, I'm light years above him, and respectfully, I'm saying Devin has more experience than Brian. He has more accolades than Brian, so you have to tip your hat to Devin for that. But just as Devin keeps saying, Brian is not on the level. I look at it like, okay, well, for us to get to this level now, you're the first person that they put in front of us. So I don't know if they think that little of you to make you are the first man that he has to go up against. But okay, now he's on the level, and you're the first guy to go essentially. So it's a good introduction for B, and I think it's gonna be a great fight for Devin. But like I said, Brian dominates the fight, and either he stops Devin or the ref stops it. One of the two.
All right, you heard it here. You heard it here first, folks, on the Morning Run. Adrian AC Clark. Now that ain't what you just supposed to do. We know that you're a real boxing guy. Like you're not just talking about your guy. That's how you really feel.
Oh yeah, even if I was on the outside looking in, it's like, yo, like I respect, you know what I'm saying, Devin Haney and what he's done. But that's at the 135 division. He dominated that, man. He's a taller dude. I looking at him, I respect him to do that at 135, but this is 147 now. So and it's a different animal with Brian Norman Jr. So if I didn't represent Brian, I would still be like, yo, if I'm betting on it, I'm putting my money on the kid from Atlanta.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Yes, indeed. Hey, talk about also, you know, you're an author also, man. You got, let me put this up right here. There you go. Talk about some of your early endeavors.
Hey, that last one, that divorce behavior, I recommend it to men, but it's like, yo, if you're married, stay away from divorce behavior, man. I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you want to read that joint. Maybe you want to read it to get prepared. Maybe if you're going through it, but yeah, I've penned a couple of books in my day.
Nice, man. How do you see the next 10 years of your career going?
That's a good question, actually. I'm comfortable, to be honest. I know that's sometimes looked at as a bad word, but I'm comfortable, man. My son is my life. You know, I have a 6-year-old, and man, I love football. I just want to say I love football, but football wasn't my choice for him. I introduced him to all the sports: baseball, basketball, baseball, and I was hoping that, okay, maybe basketball, maybe selfishly, I want him to go to law school and
Okay.
become a lawyer and represent athletes like his dad.
Right.
But man, not only does he love football, but like I'm watching him move, and I'm not saying this as a dad. Defensively, the way he's able to move and turn his hips as a 6-year-old, I'm like, he's gonna be a damn football
Football.
player,
Yeah.
and I'm not happy about it, man. But man, my life is dedicated to my son, man. I love being with my son every day, and I can't wait to get back on this plane to get back with him tomorrow. But that's my life. But business wise, I can represent fighters forever. I'm not gonna write any more books. I don't think. I want to help people write their books, but
Right.
that's a loaded question. I'm sorry if this engine is kind of is revving the car, but I really can't answer the question right now. I'm just really enjoying my life, enjoying my son, and I'm in this place of like peace and like freedom, and it has nothing to do with finances, and nothing to do with my career. I just feel really free, man, free and at peace. And I didn't feel that a few years ago when I was going through the divorce and things like that. But right now, man, I'm happy and I'm peaceful and I'm free, man. That's how I hope to be in the next 10 years.
Amen. Amen, brother.
Man, we got some divorce questions in the chat. We got some comments. I don't know if you want to answer some of these things,
No,
but
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
let me see here. Where do we want to go first? You see some Dukes you want to ask? I will say
No.
advice for athletes going through divorce or former
Ooh,
athletes.
that's a good one. And I actually have a couple guys that I counsel that are pro athletes going through divorce. It's a different dynamic for those guys because there's so much, money and assets and things like that involved. I would just say you have to remember that y'all were friends at one point in time. Y'all were in love with each other, and if y'all got kids together, man, like don't get off of that mindset of like, oh man, F her or like any of that. Even if she did you wrong or whatever, bro. If y'all are splitting, you want to try to make it as amicable as possible. And you want to remember, especially if she got your seeds, she got your kids, bro, financially, you want to make sure that she's in a good spot to where your kid is good. But more than anything, the one thing I would tell dudes is take your time to heal. Be honest with yourself on what you did, what you didn't do, what position you may have put her in, vice versa. But heal first, but then don't go into it with a mindset that she's your enemy. Typically, the lawyers make it like y'all are enemies, man. But if y'all can actually sit and have a conversation with each other, things typically go a little bit better when y'all are on the same page. It's never gonna go super smooth where you're not gonna owe any money and she's gonna be like, oh well, don't worry about paying alimony or I'm not gonna put you on child. It's never really gonna go that way, but gotta make sure y'all on the same page and on one accord, and things typically go smoother from there. But I know that's a lot of answers in one, but yeah, that would be my advice to an athlete.
Great.
Man, so there was a lot of controversy about Brian Norman Jr. and the Boots in his fight,
Hmm.
and now he gets this Haney fight.
Hmm.
If things go as planned, does Brian fight Boots in spring 26?
Like Brian will fight anybody. Like that's the mindset of fighters. They're gonna fight anybody, especially if the caliber of fighter makes sense. They're gonna fight anybody. So Boots and Brian could have fought. That fight didn't happen because of business, and
Mm.
those questions have to be more so towards Jaron's promoter, Eddie Hearn. Eddie
Hmm.
Hearn did come to the table to make a deal. I came to the table to get a deal done. And in this business, if you're gonna walk away from a negotiation over a couple $100,000, and then I don't really do much media, so and I don't have a platform where I got millions of followers, but then to go to the media and be like, oh, well, he didn't want the fight, and I offered X, Y. It's like, bro, you ain't got a lot of kick it, is what we say. It's like, bro, keep it a
Shout out
buck.
to the-
You didn't want to pay. You didn't want to pay what I was looking for, and it was only a couple $100,000 short of where we were at. Essentially, they didn't want that fight, and it's not Jaren. It's not Boots. Boots probably wanted to fight Brian with no problem. It's the promotional side and the managerial side. They didn't want to make the fight happen because of the money. I think they just thought I was going to come to the table and just accept whatever because
Hmm.
Brian was so young. But I may look like a fool, but I'm not a damn fool when it comes to negotiations. And I know a lot of times you're not going to get everything that you want,
Right.
but I know how to negotiate from a sense of leverage, and we had leverage going into that. And I wasn't going to leave money on the table just because fans were calling for the fight. I represent Brian Norman Jr., not fans, so therefore, he wasn't happy because he didn't get to fight Ennis at that time. But where we sit right now, that BS offer that Eddie Hearn was trying to give, it's laughable at this point in time now. So all the people, and even him that was laughing then, we're laughing now, given the situation that we're in. So would love to go back to the negotiation table after that. I don't take anything personal. That's not how I do business. But just know, like I'm not about to play when it comes to sitting down and talking about what's best for my client. That's just
Mm.
what it is.
One thing about them tables, they always turn, don't
Oh man, I learned that at a young age. So yeah,
it?
It's a fact.
For
Talk about
sure.
real quick Netflix and Dana White in boxing and what that brings to the sport and what are your thoughts on it?
that's loaded. Listen, anyone that's coming in to be a new player in the sport, man, like I welcome with open arms. It's just I think it's good for Netflix. I think it's good for the fighters and the exposure. But you know, once we start talking about having a league and they're trying to, let's say they meaning certain individuals are trying to alter or change the Muhammad Ali Act, which is set to protect the fighters. Now, at that point, my mindset is different, but I think Dana White is probably the greatest combative sports promoter that we've seen thus far, aside from Don King. I don't think nobody's touching Don, but I welcome Dana into boxing, man. I hope that he goes about things the right way, not the way that it is with UFC fighters. Boxing's a totally different beast, so um, happy to have him in, but I want to see something before I can say, oh, it's great to have him in here. I don't know yet because I haven't seen anything from him yet. So we'll see.
Fair enough. So when it comes to like the sport itself, what needs to happen to put boxing back in that upper echelon of where it was in the late 80s, early 90s, where it was almost like football, basketball, boxing, like
Gotcha.
it was it was in the upper echelon of sports that
Yeah.
people had to figure out or wanted to see.
Yeah.
How does boxing get back to that point?
I don't with technology now, man, and how things have kind of sped up. I don't know if boxing ever is going to be top three anymore. To be just completely honest with you, and I love the sport a lot, but top three, I just don't see that anymore. And what needs to happen is again a bit of a loaded question that I'm not sure that I have the answer to. What
Mm.
needs to happen now? Respectfully to Turkey Al Sheikh and Dana White, the league that they're introducing and to try to do the league similar to the UFC, I don't think that gets boxing back to being top three. I think it's a good step depending on how the league is done. but I don't think it gets boxing back to top three. So that question, man, I can confidently say, like, I don't know what it would take to get boxing back to the top three. But I do believe that we need younger blood in the sport of boxing. We need younger boxing managers. We need younger promoters. We need people that are like innovative. I saw Dana doing an interview and he was saying that he thinks bigger than the traditional promoters of Bob Arum and Oscar De La Hoya. And maybe Dana's not wrong, but just because you think bigger doesn't mean that it's going to be better, especially for the sport of boxing. So I'm just hoping that, collectively, even though it's separately, collectively we can all put it together. But I think younger blood is needed in boxing, managerial wise, promotional, and even from the trainer standpoint. Everything needs to just get younger, and then we can go from there.
Love it. Hey, see, before you get out of here, where can everybody find you on social media?
Mainly on Instagram, man. Facebook is now becoming like for older people, from what I'm told. But I'm Adrian
Youngins on
Clark
there.
on Facebook, but on Instagram I'm AC_Clark, and then Fighters First Management is the company that I'm CEO over. And tune into Brian Norman Jr. fighting Devin Haney on November 22nd in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Saudi.
Hey, man.
I know Uncle Neely really wanted to come on here and ask you some questions.
Yeah,
Kick it with
man.
you. We probably gonna have to bring you back, dog. You've been a great guest.
I'm with that, bro. I'm with that. No, great interview, man. Great questions for sure. Definitely been keeping up with y'all, man. I'm really supporting y'all moving forward, bro. Like, blessings to both of y'all.
Hey, man, I'm
Appreciate
around the
it.
corner. I might pull up in a second.
Hey, man, let me know.
Dukes, you
All
gonna
right,
get
y'all take
sweaty
care.
out there, dog. Get some work in. Last question, Age, before you go.
What's up?
Sorry to
What's
hold
up?
you.
No, you
Top
good.
three boxers. Top three boxers of all time.
All time.
All time.
Got to go Muhammad first, and then I'm gonna get selfish and say Floyd Mayweather second, and third, I got to go Mike Tyson, because the top three, boxing being top three, it was a lot because of Mike Tyson in the heavyweight division. So I will go Muhammad, Floyd, and then Mike Tyson.
Hey,
Great
man.
group right there, man.
Can't beat that. I
Great
wouldn't want
trio.
to see them in no alley.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, gotta give respect to the chat. Chat said, give a shout out to your church home. Look like you got a mean church voice. You sing in the choir?
Yo, my mom always tell me, she was like, yo, you remind me of the dudes that used to sing on the corners back in like the late 70s. Like like one of them doo-wop got, like, bro, I can't sing. My son's mom is a singer. She got the voice, but for me, nah, man, maybe on the grill. Maybe I can get on the grill and throw some ribs together, something like that.
Yeah.
But singing, nah, I ain't got no sing. I ain't got no bars for you or no
Man.
vocals.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
that's hard, bro.
Hey, man, we appreciate you coming on kicking with us, man. Having
Hey,
fun, man.
yo,
Thank you so
respect,
much.
man. Yo.
AC getting back to work over there, man. Appreciate you, Deuce. Good job, man. This is what we do on the morning run. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure, man. But you know what's crazy? That gym, man. That's where I was gonna take Cam, to be honest.
Wow. So that's like a all-purpose, like just a workout gym, or
No,
it's a boxing gym?
Boxing gym.
Training. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. It'll get you right now.
No, it's a lot of talent over there, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of
Yeah.
talent. He not like Brian Norman there. Now he's the big name over there. But there's some younger guys that's coming up. Like, yeah, so shout out to him, man. That was crazy. I was like, dang, I definitely expect. I'm like, I know exactly what that's at.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see, and I'm kind of surprised it hasn't happened already, but this could be, the tip of the spear right here, as far as so much talent from Atlanta getting into boxing. I feel like Atlanta could be one of those hot spots, like in music, in boxing. There's so much talent in Atlanta, dog, and all over, from
Man,
top to bottom.
so we had Dr. Travis Barber on earlier this year, and they putting a program together with Clarissa Shields to get more people into boxing. So it's an initiative going around because there was a ton of basketball and football took over in the A, basically.
Yeah,
so
especially with the 7-on-7.
Yeah, it's crazy.
AAU.
So previously, everybody played everything, but now you got to choose a sport so early because it's so specialized and the talent is so different. I was talking to a kid today, 6'6" kid out of Westlake, Roscoe Hayes, this morning. He may have to make a decision soon because he's getting offered in baseball, football, and basketball. So, but he maybe he has to make a decision, maybe he doesn't. But it's just so specialized now. And I think that's some of the thing that's some of what's hurt boxing in Atlanta. But it's just been a resurgence, man. You got man, sure. I tell you what, Tracy T, the rapper, who Cash Doll folks. ex
Yeah.
folks.
I
Man, his
remember Tracy
brother.
Stevens back in the day when I was on the road, dog. Shout out
Okay,
to
yeah, you know
Tracy
Tracy T.
for sure.
Swagger right check. Yep.
For sure.
His brother a fool with it.
Yeah.
Maybach Hot. Yeah, his brother's a really good boxer. And they have events here. Yeah, you got K Champ. K Champ is another guy in Atlanta that a lot of people are excited about. He's got real power. So yeah, Atlanta is kind of teaming with talent right now. We just got to see what happens.
Yes, indeed, man. Shout out to the whole ATL and surrounding areas, all the small towns out there too. You know,
right?
How far is Glenville from Atlanta? The home of
Glenville?
Shannon and Sterling. Isn't that the name? Home of Shannon and Sterling.
I think that's down there by South Carolina somewhere. Like it ain't nowhere near Atlanta.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I heard Shannon say one time, he was talking to somebody. He said, "Oh, I'm from the ATL." Wait a minute, you ain't from the ATL. You say you from the country, and I wonder how ATLians, if they hear that, what they feel about that. Do they accept them anyway, or what?
Yeah, man, we don't care, man. Yeah. Everybody. I mean, because Metro Atlanta's so big now, it don't even matter. Like, you know, if you from the metro area now, when you get into Atlanta politics, it makes a difference, right? When you get in the city, it's like, where are you from? I'm not gonna go tell nobody I'm from Atlanta. That if I'm in Atlanta, if I'm in Atlanta, I'm gonna tell them I'm from the South Side, I'm from College Park. Like, yeah, where you from? Over here, because we know you in Atlanta.
Yeah,
right.
And
so
they ask what school you're from. That really tells the story right there.
yeah. Sometimes, you know.
Hey.
I don't know what Glenville, Georgia is. That's the first time I heard of Glenville, Georgia. But it sounds like somewhere that if I'm listening to Shannon talk, he got a little Geechee to him. So I'm figuring it's somewhere down there by South Carolina somewhere.
Yeah. Up like northeast Georgia more than the South Georgia, I think. Yeah, that's South Carolina. Chico is thinking about Gainesville. Nah. Well, Gainesville, Georgia? I think he said Glenville.
No, it is a Glenville. But I think it's down there by like Savannah and all that.
Yeah.
See, look, yeah.
Because he went to Savannah State. Let me see.
I mean, he could have went anywhere, you know.
Right, but
look, Rodney Dingus, he from the 912.
Okay, there it is. Glenville with 2 N. He was born in Chicago, but raised in Glenville, Georgia. Let me see exactly where Glenville is.
I know one thing. You better start talking about Uncle Shay say for while Uncle Neely gone, but you know he said he don't do no free promo.
Who, man? Oh, we talking.
Glenville. I'm gonna tell.
Yeah, it's not too far from Savannah.
Right.
No.
Right.
He probably sit on here listening like this.
Yeah.
Land the damn plane.
Hey man, hey Chico, make sure we chop some of that stuff up. You know, in boxing, he just gave us some gold, bro.
Yeah, he was dropping some gems, dog. I was watching last night after watching the whole Mafia-thon with Kaisenat. I don't know if you've been seeing any of those. The Kaisenat Mafia-thon. He had LeBron James on the last one. He's been going live for 30 days. But I learned the term, and I might sound old for everybody out there. I learned the term clip farming. And basically what he did was gave us some clips or he clip farmed for us in a way. You know, he gave us clips to chop up and to put out there separately to promote the show. So
yeah, absolutely.
You're definitely right.
Nah, man, shout out to my bro Tay Jones. He a huge Coach Prime fan and a boxer in his own right. He did a lot with Deontay Wilder, but he and Brian Norman are like this. So shout out to Tay.
All right.
We gotta get him back on here with Unc though, because they
yeah, man.
I want to hear their story.
Right. They would have been still chopping it up. It would have been, but we got a good interview in, so that's a good thing. Next time he come back, it's gonna be damn near like he a part of the show, and we can let them, you know, we get entertained by them two talking because he was funny too.
hey, real quick, Chico. You know, Unc ain't here. Is there anything you want to say to Unc that you wouldn't say in his face?
Nah, me? I'm not that type of guy, dog. I wouldn't even say it now if he ain't here. You know, I'd say love.
Debo down the street. Now you talking, all right, wait till Debo get back, all right?
Oh, Debo down the street? Nah.
Wait till Debo get back.
Just tuck mine in.
Debo down the street. No, I'm just playing, man.
Hey, real quick, I was watching also another circle right here. Speaking of that movie, Friday, You know, when Bertie Mac pulled up, a lot of people saying that, you know, he went across the street to Miss Parker's house, right? But what did he do when he first pulled up? He asked, "Is Mrs. Jones there?" Right?
Hmm. Yeah, right.
Was he there to see Craig's mama? And he just happened to see Miss Parker with over there.
That's where he. That's where he went first. Yeah, okay, Chico, you know
Miss Jones
ball.
got
Yeah, yeah. You don't watch if you don't watch that movie. If you watch that movie a million times, like I
you know the
have,
stuff like that.
yeah, okay, we really cousins for sure. Yeah, I know. I don't watch that movie a million times.
Shout out to everybody out there once again, man. Put your city and your state in the chat. We're about to get up out of this thing. Boom. We're landing this plane. Cross check. Seatbelts on. Prepare for landing. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like, subscribe, comment, everything else. Go to the website. Find us at unclechico.myshopify.com. Get all of your TMR merch, Uncle Chico merch, Duke Scoop merch, and Uncle Neely and Big Dog Chico individually and everything else. Uncadelic. Mount up and get there. Yeah, that's what we're doing, man. We're gonna cover Colorado football. We had the offensive line today. I'll make sure y'all go back, clip this, share this, and tag us in it also if you're a real runner. You understand me? Appreciate y'all. We'll get up and about this thing. Hit us with that beautiful theme music.